Welcome to Hobart First United Methodist Church. This is our secretary, Kathy. Wave, Kathy. She is the first person you see most days when you walk into our building. This is our lounge. During normal times, we would have a coffee hour here before services, but we haven't been able to do that since COVID. We've been doing all of our services virtually. During the summer, we were meeting outside, but we would also, in addition to having coffee hour in here, we would have Bible studies around that table, council meetings in here. Really, any kind of small gathering or meeting would take place in this room. It's a nice, cozy, homey little spot. This is our chapel. Unfortunately, this room doesn't get a whole lot of use, which is a shame because this is my favorite room in the whole building. It's really pretty, it's small, it's cozy. Very occasionally we'll have a small service in here, like if a family wants a little private baptism, it might be in here. We've had small weddings in here. But the best part about this room, let me show you, this is how the magic will happen. Give me a moment here. Those lights. Turn this around. Look at those windows. How do you not use this room for everything? I tried to have an early service in here and I was nearly thrown out after 2 weeks, so you can't win them all. But anyway, this is our chapel, and if you can think of a way to convince people to use it for more stuff, please let me know. This is an art project we did together as a church. Everyone was prompted with, what do you think about when you think about God? And I fed their answers into a word cloud generator and then printed out their results on, thick banner stock. And it's displayed out in the hallway outside the sanctuary to remind them of what their thoughts are about God and how they relate to God. So this is our music room, and really at this point it's more of an instrument storage room. We have a lot of ensembles that help us out during services. We have an orchestra and a folk ensemble and a handbell choir and some soloists that come and play periodically, so they store their equipment and their music in this room. And there are robes behind these curtains as well. Show you. Green and blue color. So it's not pretty, but it's functional, and it kind of shows the variety of music that we have going on. The handbell choir actually has its own practice room because I don't know what you know about handbell ensembles, but they are practice spaces for them are cumbersome. They need a lot of thick padded tables, so I will take you to that practice room next. Here's where the handbell ensemble practices. The bells are in those cases against the far wall. These are the tables with the thick foam on them so the bells don't clank and clatter when the players set them down to switch bells. This is our library. It is curated and cared for and managed by a woman named Arlene. It is absolutely a labor of love for her. She's passionate about education and people taking their learning into their own hands. Her husband, Frank, ran the Bible study here for a number of years. So I'm trying to give you a good sense of just how many books are here and how well organized they are. And we have, Bibles and youth groups and Bible study materials in one section, and biographies in one section, and hymnals in another section, and Christian fiction, and all sorts of good stuff in here, and it's furnished for reading, and it's really one of the quieter spots in the church for people to just come and sit and contemplate. Now this is room Fun 01. It's our youth group room. It used to be called room 101, and then when we designated it for the youth, we called it Fun 01 because we're all a bunch of dorks. So it hasn't seen a lot of use over this year, again, because of COVID. And we were just kind of in the midst of getting it ready for the youth to use. We got our ping pong table and our whiteboard wall. So they call themselves the Danger Cats. So they write meow on everything. They're a weird bunch of Gen Zers, but I really do love them a lot. They have their chalkboard wall over there and some games and puzzles, and my husband donated his old GameCube, so they've got that set up, which is actually more of a sacrifice than you'd think it should be for a grown man, but he loves me and he loves this church, so yeah, Fun 01. And this is our church nurse's office. We have a designated parish nurse, so if anyone should take ill during a service, Nola is the name of the woman who can, see to them, make sure that they're all right. She also has a lot of resources around grief and mental health that she is always willing to share. But in the back here, she has a child-sized bed there, and she's kind of in the midst of cleaning up. I don't want to be in her space. She has a refrigerator if folks need to store insulin. She has an adult-sized bed back there. So, and this is really just something that she volunteered to us decades ago and has been faithful in doing. This is my office. Not really a lot to say about this. A lot of things and knickknacks that have been gifted to me over the years, some nice artwork. It's a nice spot for folks to come and sit and talk with me and think through the future of this church. This is the sanctuary. There's the pulpit up there, the stage area. Up behind that partition is where the handbell choir plays, up in the loft. And we have the room itself, and the balcony where we keep the sound equipment. Bell towers up through that door up in the balcony. It's a beautiful spot. Good place to get married. Right, honey?
Oh yeah, great place.
This is our little free food pantry. This was a ministry started here 5-7 years ago, and it's available 24/7 for folks to just come up, get what they need, or other people in the community will come and donate whatever they can for folks in the community. And it's a little more dignified than some soup kitchens and pantries that ask you to fill out a form and explain why you're in need. This is, if you don't want to have to admit that you're in trouble, you can just come up here, take what you need, and go on out. Sometimes it does spark conversation, and we've had people come in and talk to us who've used our pantry. But you can see on the bottom here we have some winter clothes, toiletries, that sort of thing, and up top we have canned goods, dry goods. And then over this way, this is the patio where we had our outdoor services this summer. And the neat thing about this is our sanctuary over in that area. So if you open up a door or two and a window, you can still hear the organ and the bells from out here. And our next door neighbor, Jay, is a member, and he also, could just open a window and be at church if he wanted to. And so it was a pretty good setup, all things considered, for our summer of COVID. The top floor of our building is a preschool. So this is where they line up in the morning and hang their jackets. And here we have the preschool chapel. So they come in here and learn songs about Jesus, and they'll have story time sitting on the floor in here sometimes. I'm going to take you by their classroom. I don't think I'll be able to get in. I don't personally have a key for the preschool rooms, and they are on Christmas break right now. But I'm going to see if I can get you a good shot through a window. You can kind of see they have their little tables set up. There's a better shot of the preschool room. Over in this room is their playroom. So there's the big slide, and behind that there's like a crawly tube sort of a thing. This is our adult education room. And there we teach English as a second language. We have a teacher that teaches GED preparation courses, citizenship courses, all kinds of good classes to help out adults in our community. This is our kitchen, and I actually have some exciting news about the kitchen here. We have gotten the green light to turn this into a soup kitchen to start serving meals to our community. So we're going to start doing that this next month. So these ladies here are cleaning this place up to get it ready to go. So in the next few weeks we can start serving meals in the community. So definitely grateful to them and their hard work to get this new ministry up and going. This is our social hall. We have a lot of events down here. During Lent, we have soup luncheons here once a week. We've had Halloween parties and concerts, and the Boy Scouts have had their Pine Derby down here, and wedding receptions, and all sorts of fun events have taken place down in this social hall. And this is our scout room. Pack 42 has been a part of this church and community for decades and decades and decades. And this is the room where they meet. They have their pack meetings. They do God and Me classes that I've taught in past years. Those also happen in this room. So lots of fun activities for both boys and girls with our Boy Scout troop that happen in this room. So there you have it. That's Hobart First in a nutshell. I'm sorry you weren't able to come see it for yourself this time around, but whenever all of this clears up, you are more than welcome to come stop by for a Sunday morning or really any time and come get to know us better. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.